Hello and welcome to Cutting Edge. I'm Lily Kerrison.
And I'm Layla Aswat. Here are our top news stories. Sheffield students on edge after a wave of break-ins.
And Sheffield Botanical Gardens' final bonfire night goes out with a bang.
Students across Sheffield are voicing growing concerns for their safety following a string of break-ins around Ecclesall Road, with many calling for increased security measures and police presence.
Caitlin Gull went to talk to affected students and find out more.
A man in a student back garden, watching. He's become known as the Sheffield Prowler. One of the students affected is Annie. She first saw him at 3 a.m. while washing up. He then came back every night at a similar time, looking through her bedroom window.
Even if I was just going to the pub or something with friends, I wouldn't walk home on my own. I'd ring up my housemates and make them come and get me, or I wouldn't go to Tesco's if it was dark. So it did affect me more than I thought it would.
And for many other students on Ecclesall Road, they say they feel the same.
Honestly, I don't think it's great. Like, as a young woman, I do feel very unsafe, and hearing about all my friends, they've all had negative experiences, so I do feel like it's sort of like a waiting game, and I'm waiting for something to happen and directly affect me.
Not really. I think I've heard of a lot of break-ins, and there's a lot of dodgy people walking around in the evening especially, so yeah.
Where we live, I feel more safe, but from theirs, when it was that stalker on the road, everyone was worried about that.
South Yorkshire Police say officers are carrying out CCTV checks, house-to-house inquiries and extra patrols in the area. Inspector Nicholas Dodsworth said, "We are aware of reports of a man acting in an inappropriate manner around this area of the city. A dedicated officer from our neighbourhood policing team has been allocated to these reports." For students on Ecclesall Road, the Prowler is still at large, and the anxiety remains. Awareness and vigilance are key. Caitlin Gull, Cutting Edge.
A reminder to all our viewers to stay safe out there. Next up, Sheffield Hallam University is under fire by their own staff.
The university has over the past year announced cuts to jobs, degraded student support and over-intensified its workload. Over to Katie Clegg at the scene at the protest.
A former Sheffield Hallam student is emerging as an up-and-coming female DJ.
We have her live at a popular Sheffield nightclub with our news correspondent Caitlin Gould. Hello Caitlin.
Yes, thank you. You're joining us live here in Sheffield with DJ Metz, who's about to do her biggest set yet at Bassfest. So, you studied PE at uni. How do you go from that to DJing?
I think PE has always been something I've loved growing up. I've also loved music alongside it, but I never really thought that I could pursue a career in DJing. So when I saved up to get my first set of decks, I had a play around with them, really enjoyed it, kind of did it as a hobby, and then the opportunities kept coming through. So I've stuck by that, but also do PE alongside it, just in case I need that as a career path.
You've supported some huge names like Shy FX and Hybrid Minds. What was that experience like?
It was a really good experience. I never thought that I'd ever be able to do anything like that. Since I was old enough to go into a club, I've always enjoyed watching people like Shy FX, Hybrid Minds. So the fact that I was on the same lineup as them, playing before or after them, is unbelievable. I supported Sota a few weeks ago, who's always been a huge inspiration for me.
As a woman in the DJ space, have you noticed any challenges or positive changes in the scene?
I haven't faced any challenges yet. I think everyone's been very supportive. There's been lots of companies that have reached out to me in case I need any support or if I want to join any programmes. I think there's a lot of DJs in in the whole thing who have reached out to me, such as Lens. When I met her when she played at Tank, she was really lovely and supportive, telling me what I need to do to get on it, like start producing. People like Serum and Slips from Bass Layers have been really lovely as well, with me asking them for advice and helping me out. So yeah.
What advice would you give someone who wants to start DJing but doesn't know where to begin?
Find out which genre of music you're into the most. Have a practice by getting down to different studios, like in Sheffield, the Spring Tank, which is a fantastic studio to have a practice in. Save up for some decks. Decks at home meant that I could practice loads and loads. And if you love it, just keep going. Practice makes perfect, and try and get those connections in with people that you know.
Where do you see yourself in the next year? Any dream collabs, tours or releases?
I'd love to release some music. I mean, producing is quite expensive, and once you get onto it, you're there. But I think I probably need a bit of advice and guidance on that. But I'd absolutely love to release my own music one day. My dream is to obviously play at Boomtown, but that's something that might come, it might never come. But there's a lot of DJs that I'd love to play on the same lineup as, such as Lens. A dream of mine was Bass Layers, but that's happening very soon. So yeah, I've had some really great opportunities recently.
Exciting times for DJ Metz, and best of luck to her at Bassfest. Back to you in the studio.
Wow, thank you, Caitlin.
That was really impressive. And now for some other news around Sheffield.
A far-right demonstration led by UKIP brought tense scenes to Sheffield city centre on the 8th of November. Around 80 to 300 supporters marched under heavy police restrictions, calling for mass deportations.
They were met by hundreds of anti-racism counter-protesters. City leaders condemned the rally, insisting Sheffield stands firmly against hate.
This year's Poppy Appeal saw strong support across the city centre, with collectors raising thousands for the Royal British Legion.
Remembrance events drew large crowds near City Hall as people paused to honour the fallen, marking a 2-minute silence at 11 o'clock. Organisers say Sheffield once again demonstrated its commitment to remembering those who served.
The university has officially opened its new business school buildings. As part of Sheffield Hallam's city campus transformation, the Redmyers and Strines buildings are designed to support thousands of students.
With state-of-the-art teaching spaces and social spaces such as the Hallamshire Cafe to prepare for students for their career in business management. The £50 million development is expected to boost the local economy, attracting more students and visitors.
A new Korean supermarket, Aseo, is set to open on the Moor. It will become the largest Aseo store in the UK, spanning over 3 floors and roughly 13,000 square feet.
The grand opening will be taking place in a week's time, with 200 goodie bags being up for grabs for those who spend more than £10 in the store.
All Bar One Sheffield has celebrated a major milestone this week, marking 30 years in the city with a special black tie event. Guests enjoyed live music, entertainment and a look back at 3 decades of the venue's place in Sheffield's nightlife.
Staff say the celebration recognised both loyal customers and the team who've shaped the bar's success since it's opened its doors in the mid-90s.
Good news for our 4-legged friends. Sheffield Supertram have updated their policy on pets.
Following a trial earlier this year, passengers are now allowed to bring their dog on board. Lily, didn't you go out and check that out?
I did indeed, Layla. Sheffield's tram network is welcoming some new passengers, and they're not your usual commuters. South Yorkshire's Mayor Oliver Coppard has confirmed that dogs are now permanently allowed on Supertram services, following a successful trial and overwhelming public support. Although some passengers aren't sure if they're on board with it.
We're like a big bulldog. That worries me a bit. If you've got an old lady or children, it might frighten them.
Yeah, now that they allow dogs, it's really easy, and people love him. Like, he always gets the attention. So yeah.
I'm up and down on the tram over to Meadowhall for my job, maybe 4 or 5 times a week. And if I'm expected to be sat in an enclosed space, what am I to do? Am I meant to wear a mask on the tram, or just not get the tram?
The tram company now allows each person to bring 1 well-behaved dog on board for free, as long as the rules are followed. We spoke to a Supertram representative earlier this week to see how the new policy is going so far.
We've had resounding positive feedback from the dog owners saying that they are able to get more done. They're able to do different things in their day because they can bring their dogs. We expect them to stay on the floor. They need to be on a lead so it stays manageable.
With the new rules now in place, Supertram is reminding people to follow the guidelines so everyone can travel safely and comfortably. Lily Kerrison, Cutting Edge.
We are now joined by Jade Burgess, a student working alongside young children with special educational needs.
Thanks for joining us, Jade. So, what made you want to work in this SEND childcare setting?
I grew up with an autistic sister, and spending a lot of time with her made me realise how differently she and I were treated because I'm neurotypical and she's neurodiverse.
What do you think people misunderstand about SEND children or early signs in young children?
They assume they're going to grow out of it, like picky eating. It's all sort of things about being a child, but when you're neurodivergent, it's a lot different. It's not something you're going to grow out of.
And do you feel there's enough trained staff, particularly within early years settings?
No, there's typically only one SENCO for an entire nursery, so that means there is one SEND professional who is spread across all of the SEND children and trying to meet their needs at any one time.
What have you noticed about SEND support working in nurseries?
It's lacking, partly because of the way that parents don't want to put a label on their children, and also because of the long waiting times. I think at the minute the waiting times for speech and language is about 8 months.
So what do you think needs changing about the current support system?
More professionals that know, and more support for parents as well, because a lot of parents don't really understand what it means when we ask if their child needs extra support.
Thank you very much, Jade.
Thank you. And thank you for your time.
And now, a final blast at the last Botanical Gardens illuminations.
After a beloved 7-year run, Sheffield bid this bonfire night farewell.
I was invited to the event to speak to the event coordinators. It's the end of an era for one of Sheffield's most loved autumn traditions. Illuminate the Gardens has lit up the Botanical Gardens for the final time, bringing thousands together for the last look at its unique blend of art, music and light. I spoke with Ellie Murphy, one of the lead curators of the event earlier this week.
Now, when we decided earlier on this year that this was going to be our actual final event, we were like, let's go all out. It's our final hurrah. So you'll see new elements this year that we're kind of keeping a bit of surprise. Now, we have hinted a bit on social media, and then we're just going to bring back some of our favourite installations from previous years. So there's a lot to see. In fact, so much so this year, we're kind of running out of space for things. So it's going to be really, really interesting and something to look at everywhere.
For 7 years, the event has transformed these historic grounds into a glowing wonderland. But behind the magic, there was a team working around the clock. And the dedication paid off. This year's finale saw record crowds, many visiting for one last chance to see their favourite displays, and to thank the staff who kept their tradition alive.
We started at Illuminate the Gardens. That was our first event.
We're a big family. We all do this all together. We've created so many friends over the years with the events.
We've done every one, so it was sad to see this go.
It's an emotional farewell for the staff and for the people of Sheffield who have grown to treasure it. Yet the event will be remembered long after the lights fade, celebrated for the spectacle it brought to the city. Leda Azrat reporting for Cutting Edge.
Speaking of festivities, Christmas is right around the corner.
The annual Sheffield Christmas markets are back and better than ever. Georgina Bailey went to see what makes this Christmas market so special.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and Sheffield is gearing itself up for another successful Christmas market. There is something for everyone. Bright lights, warm drinks and various food stalls that draw in hundreds each year. At the heart of the market stands the German sausage stall. I spoke to Joanne about what she enjoys about coming to Sheffield.
The sausages are amazing. We sell loads. We import them in from Germany with all the sauces and the wines and everything, the beer. The only thing that is from Yorkshire are our employees. So every member of staff is from Sheffield or just from the surroundings. The market likes to employ local people, local traders.
That's what it's all about here in Sheffield. Community, bringing everyone closer together. With over 80% of the stalls being local. For many, these few weeks in November and December generate a significant portion of their customers for the year. I spoke to a few about why they come to Sheffield for the Christmas market.
I think it's great. It's our hometown. My kids come multiple times a week.
It's the better one that I've done for hours-wise and for atmosphere-wise.
It's really good. The fact that there's more than just food.
Don't get me wrong.
The Christmas market isn't just about a holiday atmosphere. It's become a seasonal lifeline for local traders and workers. It's a space where community and culture can meet, whether you're here for gifts, food, or festive cheer, whilst also supporting the independent businesses that keep Sheffield's identity and spirit alive. And as Christmas approaches, the crowds grow, the temperature drops, the Christmas atmosphere rises, and the local craftsmanship are all a part of what makes the Sheffield Christmas market special. Georgina Bailey, Cutting Edge.
Well, I'm certainly feeling festive. I hope the 9 special viewers at 109 Cherry Street are feeling the same.
We had an off-screen interview with Father Christmas, who says you're all on the naughty list. You know what you did.
Merry Christmas to Kyla, Ava, Kate, Caitlin, Charlie and Caleb.
And Ted Woodpayne.